Hi, we're going to take a look at how we can work with the HashMap data type inside Java. A HashMap is the Java implementation of the hash table type data structure. It's a key value pair based data structure. It's part of the collections library. We want to take a look and see how we can work with that. So in my data structures project, we have the hashItOut method. I know, bad joke, but hey, it works really well. And so we have our JOption pane to start this off saying, hey, and now HashMap. And we're going to declare HashMap using the gang signs right here. And I have string, comma, integer. And so with a HashMap, we have two values that go inside the gang signs with that. We have the first one is the key type. In this case, it's a string. And then the second one is the value type, which is an integer, capital I integer, the wrapper class that holds ints in Java. And I'm calling it Map.Entry because, again, I'm boring. And then it's a new HashMap in the gang signs right here, again, of string and integer with the constructor call attached to that. And then string result is assigned text. And I'm going to put the empty string and 1 in there. And then Map.Put, and then result and integer value of 1, 2, 3. And because auto boxing happens, I can simply just put a 1 straight into that. I have my int, my favorite number, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Of course, you could put your own favorite number with that as well and get a better value than that than 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's just a great demo for me. And then Map.Put, and I'm putting your first name and then my favorite number. Of course, with my student example of this, you should be putting your first name, not mine, not my first name even, because again, I'm trying to make this so it's a little more tied to you rather than simply just being me saying, hey, what to type. And then Map.Put the key and then my favorite number again. So this is a little bit different than we were looking at when we were talking about set just a few minutes ago. And then we're going to use a for each loop to process this data structure. Now, a for each loop we've worked with before in other data structures, but notice how we have a little bit different here when we're working with a hash map right here. So to work with the for each in a hash map, I use the Map.Entry data type and then of string, comma, integer. So I'm using the gang signs of what we're storing inside the hash map and a Map.Entry type to hold that, naming it, of course, creatively Map.Entry. And then make it, hey, map demo, I want you to get the entry set. I want to get the set of all the key and value pairs together, all stored in one thing, and that's why I'm using it for the for each on that. And then I'm going to extract the key from that using .getKey, and the value using getValue. And again, I auto unbox that because I'm storing it directly into a lowercase I int because, hey, it works really easy for demo purposes. And then I'm going to use the window option pane and say, hey, the key is plus key, and the associated value is plus value. So I can process that structure right there. And then I'm going to put Map.Put your first name and then 1 right in there as well. And then I create an iterator again on this. And so an iterator again has the types attached to this. It's of a Map.Entry because that's how I process the structure of the hash map is with an iterator of a Map.Entry value. Again, it's a key value pair, so string, comma, integer inside the gang signs. And then the gang signs around that for the Map.Entry. And that's the hash iterator, which is the map.demo.entry set.iterator. So I'm going over the entry set data structure that's attached to the hash map itself data structure and iterating off of that. And as long as that iterator has index, I'm going to go through and extract the value from that with Map.Entry string, comma, integer entry is hashIterator.next, and I'll process that. And then a pop-up window with here's the key and then .getKey, and here's the value with .getValue. And again, this is a nonlinear data structure, so you want to run this a few times and see if it changes for the results and especially add a bunch more values to it rather than just doing the simple values that I did from my quick demo. One of the other things we can do when we're working with a hash set is we have the associated values with that. And so in this case, I have an array list of capital I integer numbers, new array list of integer, and then I'm going to extract the Map.Demo.values, which is a collection of integer type. I don't know what type of collection, it's just a collection. And I can use the add all feature of numbers to put all that collection into the array list right there. And I can then process just the stuff that's inside the values of that, which is not a set. It is just an array. In this case, it's an array list because there could be duplicates. And I'll do a for loop on this. Now, a for loop with an iterator is a little bit different. Instead of having an int index to process this, I'm going to use the iterator to process the for loop. And so you can see I have an iterator type capital I integer number iterator is in numbers.iterator. So I'm going to create the iterator for that. I'm going to test to make sure I have next is the second thing. And then my third section of the for loop is blank. I know, it's crazy, but it works. And then string contents is equal to the value is, and then the number iterator.next, because again, I have to actually append that int value onto that so I can work with it, and then a pop-up window to process that. So let's go ahead and take a look at this, see how it works, and see what happens. So I'll rerun my project right here. And so now we have our hash map. We're going to do the demonstration of this so we can trace through the code as we go through this. So we start off with that first pop-up window, and the key is empty string, and the value is 1. So we have that first one happens to be the first one that comes back from that. Okay, cool. And right now we're inside this for loop right here. We're processing this. And the second value is the key, and the associated value is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which is the fourth one we put inside there. Cool. Then the key is text, and associated value is 1, 2, 3. And so the key is text, associated value is 1, 2, 3. That's that second thing I put inside my map demo, and then the associated 1, 2, 3, because there's my result text that I worked with on that. And I'll go ahead and press on that, okay. And the key is your first name. Okay, that's that third one I put in there. It's associated 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then here is the key. So I have right here, here's the key. I'm down in this while loop right here. I'm processing the iterator with that. Here is the key. and it's an empty string because there's nothing there. And the value here is 1. Here's the key, okay, that fourth one again. And the value 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here's the key text. And here's the key 1, 2, 3. And here's the key your first name. And the value is 1 because we replaced it right here in that line 99. So it's no longer the original value of the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 we processed earlier. And then the value is 1. And so down here, we're now in the iterator using that for loop with the iterator we talked about earlier. So we can see how that happens. The value is 1. And the value is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then 1, 2, 3, and then 1, and then we're done. And so it's a quick way you can go through this. I hope this is a helpful way you can actually process and work with the HashMap data structure using that inside Java. Take a look at this, try some of the code out, and add some more features to it so you can see, add some more values to it so you can see more of how it actually works and try actually removing and processing a bit more. This is a great introduction though, to how to work with a HashMap inside Java. Cheers, see you next time, have a good day. Bye-bye.